In January of 2023, I quit my job in order to travel the world. That didn't work out as I expected it to. 10 months later, I'm here, back in the UK. So I wanted to take you through the British countryside and tell you what's going on and where the future lies for me. Before we've even got started with this walk, we are encountering a problem. Like all videos on this channel, it is never easy, and the first problem that we have is a flood. Over the last few weeks, we've had this excessive rainfall, and I think the riverbanks have burst. It used to be a grassy area, it's now flooded. This is no shallow water. We can't just walk through that. One of the cool things that you'll find when you're going on these walks in the countryside in the UK is we still have loads of these World War II bunkers just dotted across the farmland to protect us in World War II. They're disused, but they're still left in the countryside. So I think the best place to start with all of this is at the beginning, and a cheese and pickle sandwich. So in 2022, it was my 5th year in Asia, and my feet were starting to get itchy again. I had been in my job for about 5 years at this point, and while it was a comfortable job that I could do really well, I weren't really going anywhere in this job. I decided that maybe one of the best things I could do was draw my attention to the thing that I like doing the most, making these videos. Apparently not enough to keep making them though. At the time, my now ex-girlfriend and me decided that we would leave Singapore and go on an adventure before settling down somewhere. That didn't happen. We broke up before we started traveling, literally within perhaps a few weeks. I don't want to get into that. So off I went solo traveling, and immediately I started facing a bit of trouble when I got to Tioman Island. On today's episode of Anything That Can Go Wrong Will Go Wrong, we have missed, and I mean I have missed, the 8 AM ferry. No idea that that was the only one ferry of the day. That being said, I did think to myself, wow, this is such an adventure, this is such a challenge, I'm learning something new, how to deal with these things that I've never experienced before. And I was really grateful for that. The next leg of my journey was up in Kuala Lumpur, where I met up with one of my best friends in the whole world, Justin, and I stayed with him for a little while and we explored the city, and that kind of perked my spirits up a little bit to see someone I hadn't seen in a while. Once I left Malaysia, I got into Thailand, and that is when I met up with my friends Dan and Chris, and we would be starting our group adventure together on motorbikes, traveling across the length of Thailand. The plan was simple. We'd buy the motorbikes in the south in Phuket and drive all the way across Thailand, where eventually we would sell those motorbikes in Chiang Mai and move on to the next country. We was going to try and do all of the countries in Southeast Asia before moving on to another continent and seeing somewhere new. But it didn't happen like that. You see, we did get to Chiang Mai and we did put our bikes up for sale. However, my bike got stolen. It was literally stolen right in front of me. Look at this beautiful house. I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to actually film here because it is private property. It's just like a walkway going through. But hey, that is beautiful. You see, the person who stole my bike was the person that had come to buy it. So he had a look at the bike and seemed really interested and wanted to take it for a test drive. Now, I'm not a complete idiot, maybe only just a little bit. I thought to myself, okay, this shouldn't be too much of a problem because I have not only an Apple AirTag in the bike, I also had a copy of his ID. So with all that in mind, I thought, go ahead, take the bike for a test drive and let's get this bike sold and move on to the next country. But that would be too simple, wouldn't it? So as he drove off, I got out my app and I started tracking the bike to see where he was going, and he was getting further and further away to the point where he was 45 minutes away from where I'd actually sold the bike. So we got in touch with him and he was responsive, saying, yeah, no, actually, I'm going to be on my way back. And then he wasn't. So that left us with the situation of needing to go to the police, making a police report. We thought it would be a clear-cut case. Here is all the documents. Here's the tracker on the bike. He's driven to his house. We've got you. You're going to give me the bike back. But no, that's not how the police work in Thailand, apparently. So I ended up taking on a 4-month battle with the police and this guy to try and get the motorbike back. And have a guess who the loser was? It was me. I was the loser. So after sinking 4 months into trying to get this motorbike back, I was obviously eating into my savings, and I'd come up with a little rule, a pretty crap rule to be honest, that if I'd exceeded the amount of the cost of the bike by living in Chiang Mai, then I would call it a day and the travel would come to an end. I quit a high-paying job. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to keep making these videos, but in the end, I just couldn't do it anymore. I just felt deflated. I didn't even feel like I wanted to make these videos. So I got on a flight and for the first time in 5 years, headed back home here to the UK. A lot of people have said that I'm crazy for ditching the nice, beautiful tropical weather and returning to this cold hellscape of a country, but it hasn't been all that bad. I have enjoyed my time more and more being back in the UK, to the point where I am considering now making it somewhere that I'm staying a lot more long term. One of the biggest struggles, however, is that I am unemployed. I am completely out of money and I've been struggling for the months and months trying to find a job. That has been one of the hardest things of my life. I've been almost so close and then just absolutely nothing. And that is really destroying for the soul. So this is why I wanted to make this video. I did stop making videos on YouTube and I did move to Instagram to make those for a little bit, and I was really enjoying that. But I have decided that for now, for the time being, with all the failure that I've gone through, that I'm going to be stopping this for a little while. I don't know if that means forever, but it might do. And I think I'm okay with that now. I have had some ideas in mind about how I might relaunch this thing in the future. But that's going to be a whole new adventure altogether, and that might be happening sometime next year. But for now, it's goodbye. I've loved making these videos, and I was proud of all of them that I made, and I just felt like I needed a video to conclude this journey of my life. So thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you in the future. Maybe I won't. Peace.